Hello, it's Anna Kimani. I'm back again for today's session, reminding you that in my YouTube channel, I have been covering this crucial topic on parents and guardians, what you could do to give the best support to the young people under your care going through education in order for them to get the best results from their educations or the best outcomes. And again, I have been addressing the young people on what they could do in order to get the best outcomes, qualifications, and grades from their education. As I have reminded you again and again in every video that I've covered so far, that you spend a lot of your time through your young age, starting from 3 years all the way to 18 years, which are the main years of compulsory education. So you need to do your best to get the best out of these years that you go through education, so that by the time you finish the compulsory years in education up to the 18 years, and even as you progress from 18 to 24, which is mainly the time you go to college or university, or you start working, depending on how many years you spend at the higher institution of running, training, you look back and say, I got this, but I did my best to my fullest potential. So today, we shall be looking at a very crucial area affecting both the young people going through education and also affecting the parents and guardians, although today I'll be concentrating mainly on the young people themselves, and then in another session I'll be looking at it from the parent and guardian's point of view. And the topic I'll be looking at today, I got a request from a parent who asked me to look into addressing this issue, and that's why I decided I'll do it. I'll share my expertise on what I have seen as I teach, and also some of the research that I have done. I've taken time to talk to other personnel or experts in the area. The area is on how to support the young people or the parents who are going through grieving. The young people or the parents or guardians who have lost a loved one, and yet for the young people, they have to continue with education, and also for the parents and guardians, they have to continue supporting the young people under their care and going through education when they are grieving themselves or when they are going through this loss of a loved one. I know it's a heavy topic. I'll look into it and I'll try and do my best. And let me start by saying I'm very sorry to those young people who have lost a young one, and you have to go through the grieving and you still have to go through the education. And also to the parents and guardians who are going through the grieving after losing a loved one, and yet they have got young people that they're taking care of. Reminding you again that my YouTube channel is Anna G. Kimani. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing so that you can get updates once I upload video, of which I'm doing regularly and at least once a week. Once you subscribe, remember to hit the bell so that you can be getting the notice once I upload the videos. And also once you subscribe, you'll be able to go back and watch all the other videos that I have uploaded previously. Again, remember to follow me on my Facebook page, which is Excellence in Education Progress. You'll be able to see some other resources that I've uploaded there. Again, remember to check my website, which is annagkemanipublications.com. Again, my website is annagkemanipublications.com. I've uploaded a number of resources there and also a number of videos. So once you visit my website, you'll be able to see all these resources and watch the videos as well. Remember as well to give me some likes, they encourage me. And again, it is important if you comment and let me know which other area that I could share in this important topic. As I have told you that in today's session, I'll be looking at support that the young people going through education and have lost a loved one and are going through grieving, and yet they still have to go through education, and to the parents or guardians themselves who have lost a loved one and they still have to support the young people and themselves are going through this grieving because of a loved one. I got that from a parent or a guardian who requested me to look into this topic. And as I told you that today I'll be looking from the young people point of it on losing the loved one. They are going through the grieving and yet they have to go through education. So mainly, and I know that I'm reminding you what you have done before, when such a thing happens, the best thing that happen or should happen is for the community, those around these families, to come around and support, be there to support these people. And I know it's difficult, but this time, such a family or such young people, because I'm looking at it from the young people point of view, but of course the young people are staying with their loved one at home and in the community. It is good for the community to come together and give them much support that they can give. And if they could do it immediately after getting to know such a thing has happened or such a family has lost a loved one, the community will help out in some chores like cooking, cleaning up, shopping, and any other help that they can give. Just being around this family, being around these young people in the family setting. But again, it's good to remind you that as much as the community is coming around, the close family members, friends are coming out to help this family, it's also good to leave these people who have been hit by such an issue of losing a loved one, to give them space. Leave them alone when they want to be quiet. Be around, but leave them alone when they want to be quiet. Create some space for those who want to be left alone. Create some space for those who want to be left alone, unless if they want to talk about it. Okay. It's good that these young people and the family in general, although I said I'll be looking at the young people from point of view, it's also to give them space to digest individually and try and help and let the young people, where they can, just continue with life as normal, following their normal routines. It's difficult, yes, but give them space, unless if they want to talk about it. Let them try and digest individually, both in mind and in body, unless if they want to talk about it. But be around them to support them wherever they need to be supported. And be open to hearing the young people questions. Be open to hearing the young people questions. I know the parent and the guardians, yourself, you'll be grieving. It will be a difficult time. And those who are close to these young people, the very close family members, even in the community, Be open to hearing the young people, and especially if they have got questions, give them time. Tell the truth. Let them know that so-and-so has died, because the young people will tend to keep on asking. They'll be reminded and they'll come and ask again. Remind them, let them know so-and-so has died. Use the best language you can. It's good to tell them the truth. Yes, it's difficult. Be consistent, because the young people will tend to ask again and again. Be consistent with the answer. Again, remember the father, the mother, and all the children will be mourning. It's a difficult time as well. So generally, although I said today's session I'm looking at the young people, it will be a difficult time for the whole family, both the parents or the guardians or the young people. It's a difficult time for them. That's why the community need to come in, but still remember to give them space to digest, both in mind and body. But if the young people ask questions, because they ask again and again, remember to tell them the truth. Use the best language you can. Let those around try and support, but let them be told the truth. Talk about the person who died. If the young people asked, give them time. Be open to talk about it. It's difficult, yes. Give them time to talk about it. Parent, adult at home and school, be open for the children to come to you when they want to talk to you. Remember, the moment of time to be around should be respected, unless if they asked. It's not good to dig into them. It's good to give them time. From the school point of it, because I've been a teacher, I've experienced and have worked with such young people. It's a difficult time. So I know that if there are teachers there who are listening to me, or adults who have worked with young people who have gone through such experiences, I know you have done your best. I know I'm just reminding you. However, it's good to, if a young person that, especially if it's a young person that you know very well, and they work quite well in your class or in your subject, and then you see a change, I'm sure if it's in school, the staff, the school staff will be notified of what has happened to the young person. They will know. But at the same time, in class, you know the working ethos of this child. You know this child is positive, and despite whatever circumstance, you know this child, the way the child is. If the child, you realize the child isn't working to the expectation in class, just give them space. Give them space. At times they will want to talk to you, to open up to you. But remember, it's a difficult time for them. Go through this journey with them slowly when they come to school. And if I could point at this, what I've experienced myself, at times it's not just even when the young person has lost a loved one. Some of the young people, especially if they have got a very close relative or someone close to them who is unwell, it tends to affect them. And it's good to give them time. Even if they choose not to do the work in class, just leave them there. Let them sit down as you're teaching. Let them listen. Let them get what they can get. If they're not able to work, just leave them. And at times of what I've experienced, I've seen some young people, students that I've taught, asking me, Miss, can I talk to you outside? And I give them attention. The rest of the students are working, they're going on with their work, and I stand with them outside. Of course, I'm inside the class and I'm outside. I can see what is going on in the classroom, and I'm also trying to talk to the student from outside. And at times they open up and tell me, and Ara says, if they choose to come back to class, they come back to class. But if I can send an email and let the form tutor know, or the senior leadership know, this student is going through this, and further help will be given. Or if I'm teaching and I see maybe a senior member passing by the corridor, I'll just pop and stop them and tell them this is happening, and they'll come in and help decide the best way to help such a student. This is the time that such a young person or student needs maximum support, because the emotional and the psychological well-being of this student or this young child is very paramount. Remembering that even at home, when they go home, for those who are, especially those in day school, the parent and the guardians back home are going through the same process. Or even those who are in boarding school, when they go back to school, they have got teachers there, but they are far from their loved ones, so they'll need a lot of support. This is not the time to tell the student that you're not working hard enough or anything. It's time to support them, because they are going through such a difficult situation. Personally, if I notice that the student is not working to my expectations, I don't rush to it. They're there, they're sitting down, and the rest of the students, maybe I've got 30 students in a classroom. When the rest are settled in their work, I'll just go around. You assess, you can assess. And what I've noticed most of the time is the student who's saying, they open up and tell you, but you have known and you have been notified. Just look for the best way to go around it and give the best support to this student. And I've spoken to a school counselor, and I've also spoken to other experts, and I have been informed that before seeking expertise or extra expertise support in this area, it's good to leave the young people for about 6 weeks. It's good to leave the young people for about 6 weeks so that the mind and the body can adjust. It can sink in. The school knows, of course, the school will have been notified, and also depending on where you're coming from which part of the world you're coming from. I know every school, because I'm addressing all people across the whole world. Every part of the world, every school has got the best way they do it. And I know I'm reminding you and you're doing it, but from here, if I'm talking from the England, because I'm teaching in a school in England. In England, we have got, when it's come to safeguarding the young people, it's really taken seriously. It's serious. Teachers get trained and reminded and trained again, and reminded about safeguarding the young people. And every school has got a safeguarding team. And every school has got the lead in the safeguarding. So the teachers or the other staff in school will report any issues that they notice with students to the safeguarding lead. And of course, the safeguarding lead will have notified the teachers in the school, who have known, and if I talk about England, in most of the cases. So the teachers know how to handle it. So the teachers are there to support the young people going through this, because it's good to let the child continue with the normal routine as the best it can be. But after talking to the school counselor normally comes after 6 weeks to pick where the child is at weeks later. So the teachers will mainly have been notified. The safeguarding lead is there. The safeguarding team is there to support this child. There's a form tutor. Most students, the first thing they come to school, they meet the form tutor. And at the end of the day, they meet the form tutor again. So they come in the morning, they meet their form tutor, they go through the school schedule, and then before they go home, they meet the form tutor again. Some schools, they meet the form tutor in the morning, other schools before going home. The role of the form tutor is to connect school and home. So the form tutor will be aware of what is going on with such students in their form. And they inform the rest of the teachers. The rest of the teachers will have been informed by the safeguarding team. And then later, as a student is going through this, it is sinking in. settling in their mind, in their body. Then the school counselor comes in after 6 weeks and pick from where the student is. And of course, the school counselor comes in and starts working with these young people who are going through difficulties after losing their loved ones. Normally, the school counselor will give the affected young person or student a card, so that when they're in class and they need to get out, then they can get out. All they need to do is show the teacher the card, and then they'll go out. And of course, they'll be in plan. The student will know where they are going when they get out of class, because they need some time alone, and the school counselor is aware about it. And again, I'll emphasize on it depends with the school where the student is attending or the learning institution. There's also the security, because I'm talking about England here, and mainly there's very strict school security. The students are monitored. So it's also good to be careful to know where just a student will go because of safety. Remember, safeguarding the safety of this child is very paramount, or the safety of this young person is very paramount. Okay, and remember that the school counselor tries to keep the things as normal as usual for the students of the young people. And mainly the school counselors don't do referrals. They go through this journey with these students. They monitor the students depending on where they are. They go through this journey with them, because the student has been referred to them by the safeguarding team in school, and that is their role. That's the role of the school counselor. And I said, depending on which country you're listening to me from, I know the schools, the learning institutions have got the best things in place or plans to help such students who are grieving or who are going through such a difficult time, whether in a boarding school or whether in a day school, but they need the best support. Mainly, most of these students, I know they could be as young, primary school, or they could be in high school, secondary school, A-levels, and those who are in higher institution or like college and universities. I'm sure there's some plans that are in place to help them cope with this. But when it comes to the teens, it can be as well a very difficult time for them. And teens, especially boys, are afraid of their softer feelings like sadness, fear, and loneliness. Losing a loved one for the teen can be a very challenging time in their lives. It can lead to difficulty in concentration. School grades may typically drop for a period of time when they are grieving. Around this time, the teens will be preparing for either their high school qualifications, their A-level qualifications, college or university, or even starting work, especially for those, depending on how many years they take at the university. So at this time, they'll need maximum support. You'll need maximum support. And I'm going to read for you some suggestions on how to deal with such teens, or how to help such teens or young people who are grieving. And then below this video, I'll put some of the resources or some of the references where I got some of the information from, so you can check there as well. I'll put some of the trust that I've actually called and spoken to, some charities that I called and spoken to. I said I've spoken to a school counselor because this is a heavy topic. And I've also shared my expertise on how I've dealt with the young people, because they need support to go through this. And I'm going to read, and I said I'm going to put the reference there, some suggestions for dealing with teens who are grieving. Understand normal teen development issues and the grieving process in order not to be making situations more complicated than need be, and be aware of danger signs. Listen without judging. Teen needs support and need to feel heard. They are being listened to. This may allow them to be more in touch with their softer feelings and express them, which will decrease their anger. By being aware of their own needs and losses, parents can afford distorting their relationship with teens' expectations. For instance, be patient with their standards, expectations, while the teen is properly more concerned with the memories of the past and coping day to day. Be there for the teen. Give permission to take a lighter road. To get help, see a school counselor. They'll help you on how to support the young person or the students. But on the student part of it, where you can, add perspective to the teen's urgent discussions. Listen to them when they want to talk, when they have got questions. Tell them the truth and be consistent in what you're telling them when they come to you. Give permission not to grieve all the time. Teens need to have good times with their friends and have respite for their grief. If they can, let them continue going to school, swimming, etc., and other activities that they're used to doing before. Look for hopelessness, anger not constructively dealt with, impulsiveness, isolation, or a sense of helplessness. These are clues that counseling will be recommended. And as I said, many in school, the safeguarding team, I'm talking on maybe mainly on behalf of England, and I said that other schools, wherever you're coming from or you're listening to me from, will have plans in place to help such young people or such teens or such students. But the safeguarding team, after walking through the journey with the affected students, they will refer them to the school counselor. And mainly they come to the school counselor after 6 weeks. Okay. And as I said, I'm going to upload, below the video description, I'm going to upload the resources that I got some of the references from, and some of the trust as well. So you can also get in touch with them. I'm sure when you visit their website, I'm going to put the website there. You can drop an email to them and you can get further support. I did inquire about it, and they said in case of such an email, they will always respond. Again, reminding you that today we have been looking at helping the young people, the students who are going through the difficult time of grieving after losing a loved one, and yet they have to continue with their education. And I have reminded you, and I know you know this, is good to go through this journey with them, especially in school, because I'm talking about it from the school point of view, because on my channel I have been looking at parents and guardians, what you could do to support the young people under your care to get the best out of education. I've also been addressing the young people on what you could do in order to get the best from your education. And some of the young people, because today I was looking at the young people point of view, will experience such difficulties when they are going through education or losing a loved one. And it is such a difficult time in their lives. So they need the best support. They need the best support. And I'm reminding you to comment and let me know some other areas that I can cover under this topic. As I told you, I was requested by a parent to look at it and talk about it during one of the sessions, which I did today. Again, I'm reminding you, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, Anna G. Kimani, please consider doing it. Remember to hit the bell bell when you subscribe so that you can be getting notifications once I upload a video, of which I'm doing each week, at least once a week, so I'm doing it regularly. Also remember to follow me on my Facebook page, Excellence in Education Progress. Check my website, which is annagkimanipublications.com. And remember to give me some likes. And again, comment. I've got several areas that parents and guardians, including students, have asked me to look into, of which I'll be doing. I'll be sharing my expertise and doing further research, and especially where I find there's best expertise in, and share with you all on this platform, which is my YouTube channel. I want to thank you for your time and looking forward to talking to you in my next session, and goodbye.